Los Bitchos followed their 2022 debut album with Talkie Talkie, another collection of exotic instrumentals. Here is guitarist Serra Petale to tell us what lessons the quartet learned after making that first record.
I guess we definitely learn a lot from the first album in terms of like structuring songs. You know, what do you want a song to do? What hits? Do you need to make some tough edits?
Right.
Oh, does a song go on for too long? Is it just serving you because you like it?
Right.
I don't know. It's just little bits like that you just had in the back of your mind. I mean, ultimately, I think as the writer, you want to be happy with your own work. You can't just be producing stuff to please the masses.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of writing and certainly like preparing ourselves to play the songs and going into the studio, I think we were a lot more confident and we were able to, you know, really convey what we wanted to do a lot easier. And I think, yeah, it was a more like I think it was a real, you know, ended up being a really nice collaborative experience with our producer, Ollie Barton-Wood, who was just amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, he really helped us realize where we wanted to go with the album.
And where did you want to go?
Well, we didn't want to just make the same album again. I think the first album we were so lucky to work with Alex, and he was just so fantastic, and he also really realized exactly where we wanted to go.
Right.
And but you know, it's like we didn't just, I think we wanted to just have a difference in production predominantly. I mean, the songs themselves are different. They're sonically different. They're sort of less like cumbia garagey, I think, in this one, which is cool. I mean, I think that's what makes the first album so magical, because it, you know, it really had those fantastic old elements to it. But I think this one, in terms of production, we probably leaned into a slightly different era. We probably used a bit more influence from like the 80s new romantic era in terms of production, I think.
Right.
But we wanted that. We didn't want to make a throwback album in any sense, but I think just in terms of production and songwriting, yeah, we just wanted to, you know, develop a little.
Gotcha. Very good. And so, if I'm not mistaken, one of the studios that you recorded at was actually some kind of boat. I have to ask you about that, obviously, and I'm sure you've.
Yeah, it's the Lightship 95.
So what was that like?
That was awesome. I've actually recorded there. I recorded there many years ago. I was playing drums for a band, so yeah, I'd recorded there probably about 10 years ago.
Crikey.
Yeah, it's like docked in near South London. Not near South London. It's docked in South London, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And yeah, this fantastic recording studio, and yeah, I think the vibe of a studio makes such a difference to where, you know, obviously makes such a difference to how you record, what you want to record, how you feel while you're recording.
Right.
But it was real cool because we had to record it kind of coming into winter.
Right.
So it was nice to get a bit cozy and feel like you could just be locked in and really concentrate. And yeah, boat was a perfect place to do that.
All righty. I was watching your video for Talkie Talkie, Charlie. It looked like you're having a good time. I love all the vintage phones and stuff. So how much do you, how involved do you get in the visualization of the music?
We're so lucky to work with our longtime collaborator, Tom Mitchell. He's done pretty much all of our videos. And yeah, we will sometimes just give him these pretty ridiculous ideas, throw some video references at him, and then we'll be like, go, have fun. And yeah, he'll just really, I mean, a lot of the times he'll make something out of nothing. Like we'll give him nothing.
Right. Right.
Give him some like vague ideas even sometimes. But I don't know. I think specific, like we're pretty involved in the visual aspect of it because I mean, we want to just make sure that people feel like it's us, like it's coming from us. It's not just us plonked into these scenarios that don't feel authentic.
Gotcha. And whose phones were they?
I think some of them were Nick's, actually. She had like this weird duck phone, but I think a few of them we were lucky enough to be able to rent out from this prop place that we got our set designer to borrow some stuff. I don't know. I think some stuff was maybe even from Amazon. Who knows?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it comes from various places, but a lot of the stuff is our own stuff. Like the game gear you see me playing on is Nick's game gear.
Right.
Those Archie comics are my Archie comics.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. There's definitely, we definitely want to put as much of ourselves into the videos as possible.
Okay. And so I think when I was reading reviews and things and write-ups about, somebody mentioned Hank Marvin as a possible influence as far as guitar, possibly on the track Road. And so that leads us to talk about guitar players. Which ones do you kind of look to as an influence?
I really, really love the inventive guitar playing of Eddie Van Halen.
Right.
But I mean, I just love how I love the creativity of his guitar playing. It's almost like a second voice on those specifically like those early records. I mean, it's what he was doing was just like beyond. So I really look to that because it's just crazy and it's everywhere. And maybe it doesn't have to make sense, but who cares about that, But I think a lot of my influence really mainly comes from a lot of Britpop, because that's what I was, and grunge, because that's what I was listening to when I was growing up with my brother. And specifically, I think the guitar playing of Graham Coxon, I think, is really because those were some of the songs that my brother would teach me to play. And yeah, what he does is just fabulous. But it's and that of I also really love the guitar playing of Kat Bieland. She's from Babes in Toyland.
That's right.
Yeah, she's a grunge gal.
She is indeed.
I love the grunge gals.
A riot gal.
Yeah. Sure.
So you mentioned you played drums earlier. Do you play a lot of instruments, or is guitar your thing and always has been, and you just happen to dabble?
Nah, to be honest, drums has always been my thing.
Oh, okay.
I happen to dabble in guitar.
All right, you're doing pretty good.
Thanks. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, to be honest, this is the first time I've really played guitar in a group. So I've been playing lead guitar in Bitchos for like 7 years now. And yeah, it's been an interesting learning journey for me. I mean, I'm still very much always learning, always looking to improve myself. But I love playing all instruments. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a master of every single instrument I lay my hands on, but it really helps to be able to be, at least proficient enough to like write a bass line or write some synth lines, or, if you want to use your voice, be able to use the voice. I don't know. I just really like playing instruments. So I just do my best. Everything except for wind instruments. Like I just can't do wind instruments or brass. Like anything you got to blow on.
Right.
Can't do it.
Got to get your lips in shape.
Yeah. I can't get my head around those. So yeah, I'll leave those to the experts.
Yeah, you got to leave something for somebody. That sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of bass lines, there's a pretty cool bass line, and It's About Time, which and it's the longest track on the record. And so I'm wondering if you can kind of give me some insights as to how that thing came together.
Josie, our bassist, is a really, really wonderful, expressive bass player. And I mean, I think I would have written that a couple of years ago now. I wanted to make sure I wanted to make sure that like the bass, because the top lines are quite complicated, so I wanted to make sure that the bass line could just hold, you know, but still have its moments. I love me a bass solo. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, I was lucky enough because, obviously Josie has her own ideas about stuff, and I think, yeah, she's so creative, she's so wonderful. But I think, yeah, I was lucky enough that she liked the bass line on this one, so it was similar to that of the demo, but the way that she plays it, the way that she was playing it in the studio was like gives me the chills. I remember sitting there watching her because Ollie and her were like doing it again,
Right.
because what you think is like a pretty simple bass line, fair enough, you can play it, but there's playing it and there's playing it. And I remember he was really schooling her to be like, maybe a bit more aggressively dirtier, but like, it's not even through using effects, it's how the plectrum is, or how the plectrum is like attacking those strings.
Yep.
Think she just did the most incredible job. It's like there's so much feel, there's so much emotion in the bass line. I think she did a really wonderful job of playing.
All right. Well, okay. Now I'm the band is formed what, like around 2017, is that right?
Yeah, like starting.
Yeah, starting. Okay.
Started, or kind of, yeah, I think probably even started writing a bit in like 2016.
Okay.
And then probably started playing shows, yeah,
And of course,
2017.
the four of you are all from different parts of the planet and blah, blah, blah. And it sounds like you do all sorts of different things. So I'm curious as to, have the roles within the band changed, altered, evolved throughout the time that you've been together?
Yeah.
Even not necessarily musically, but just like how you interact with each other. How so?
I think, well, to be honest with you, it's like when we first started, like everyone's just really kind of figuring things out.
Right.
As a band. It's like, how do you even run a band? How do you do a tour? Who
Yep.
organizes that tour? Then, do you have a tour manager coming on? Well, how do you pay them? Where does that money, it's like what's been really interesting, I think, for all of us is really like the ins and outs of actually running a band. It's like it's a business. It's a business. I mean, you can be as involved or uninvolved as you want. But I think a real beacon of, well, from my point of view, is a success, because is that all four of us are so involved in the everyday, like the merch, we're on it. Accounts, we're on it. Not to say that we don't obviously have accountants, and we have a plastic manager, we have a label, we have our booking agent, we have our tour manager. Of course we have those things. But what I'm so forever impressed by with all of us is that we're so on it. Like, who is our merch company? We know. How much is coming? We know. And I think it's easy for you to sort of take the back seat and sort of, be like, the manager will do it, or someone else will do it, or blah, blah, blah. But I think it's been great for us to sort of evolve and really learn how to run a band. I'd say that's what's changed the most, because when you're starting off, you're like, we're getting 50 quid for this show, where do we, I guess we'll just spend it on petrol. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm guessing that if you were to give advice to a band just forming, you might suggest to make sure they were very hands-on with everything.
I reckon so.
Yeah.
I reckon so. Like, if you're going to do something, do it yourself. And obviously then, if you're lucky enough, I mean, if you're lucky enough to then to be able to have people come on board and help you with things like like booking a tour. I mean, you must have a good proactive booking agent,
right,
that happen. And we are very, very lucky that we have the most wonderful booking agent in the world, Roxanne, who has genuinely helped us grow and, you know, all of those things. But I think being as hands-on as possible is pretty important. And also, you know, try to pick people that are on the same page as you.
That just could help.
Form a band is
Yeah. And so do you have a highlight as far as a gig that you guys have done in your own minds? Not necessarily the one that most people or most exotic, but
nah, I'd say all of us would definitely say Glastonbury.
Oh yeah, tell me about
Glastonbury. Oh God, that was so good, so fun, such a great weekend, such a great show.
Yeah,
loved it, magical.
Yeah. So other than your own set, what did you catch when you were there?
I caught Thundercat.
Uh-huh.
Who is incredible. I've seen Thundercat a few times. I saw Goldfrapp.
Oh, cool.
Saw Elton John. Saw Blondie. Saw Queens of the Stone Age. Saw Lana Del Rey.
Oh man.
Yeah, actually managed.
You had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Man, that's fantastic.
But that's the thing with Glasgow. Like, you don't even have to see any music to have a good time.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the record's been out for a couple of weeks now. And where are you in the stream of things? Are you thinking about the next one? Or are you just trying to get through this process? Where are you at?
Nah, always thinking about the next one.
Right.
Always. But I just really love writing music. So it's like, it's nice. And it's nice, obviously, to finally get out and be able to play the songs and promote the album and so forth. But yeah, forever, you know, I think it's critical to think about, you know, what's next.
Right.
But that's just me. I like that.
And being a mostly instrumental band, are you concerned that it comes across as a gimmick?
Nah.
No.
Not at all. I mean, instrumental music's amazing. People want to think that about it, then go ahead. But the gimmick, we're out there playing shows. We're having a great time doing it. And yeah, I mean, music is music. I mean, a lot of the music that I even grew up playing, because I grew up playing like classical violin. That's
really?
All instrumental. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all instrumental. You play like a concerto. Well, who's singing over it? Nobody.
And did you have classical aspirations?
I mean, is that is that a gimmick? I don't think so.
Right.
But I mean, fair enough. People see like 4 gals on stage and, you know, they're playing guitars, not playing like it's not the traditional form of instrumental music maybe that people have historically been used to, but they can get used to it.
Did you ever want to play in an orchestra?
Nah. Not really. I didn't mind. I didn't mind playing the classical percussion. I did that when I was in school, like playing like timpani and
yeah, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that stuff is pretty fun. But yeah, that was not really ever an option for me.
All righty. Well, hopefully you'll make it to New Zealand here. I mean, Jesus.
Oh man, I hope so as well.
Are you familiar with the New Zealand music scene? I think somebody kind of mentioned in some of your comments in the videos something about Princess Chelsea. So they.
Oh, that's right. I mean, I'm kind of I'm a fan of like the sort of older bands. So like my Crowded House, my Split Ends.
Right.
I really love Jenny Morris, I think, is
originally. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, I love Jenny Morris. Well, I was listening to her today when I was at the gym. I love that woman.
Well, Neil Finn's studio. I can almost see Neil Finn's studio from here. His Roundhead studio is around the corner. So.
Oh God.
So. Yeah.
I die for that man. It's like.
He has
moved me in ways that I didn't even know that was possible.
Oh, that's nice to hear. I'll tell him. Yeah. So.
please. No, I mean, what I'm always blown away by, especially by, you know, small countries, even like the UK. UK is quite small. It's just overpopulated, densely populated. But I think the amount of talent that comes out of, you know, the places that are small and, you know, maybe even a little bit off the beaten track is just wonderful. There's so much talent everywhere. I love that.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.